In this session, we are going to open and write to a file in Python. There is a built-in open function to help us open a file. It returns a file object that contains methods and attributes. In the IDE, let's start by writing file equals open. At this point, we have two parameters. First is the file name ./filetest.txt. And the second parameter is the mode. Python offers 12 modes. However, we are going to look at 4 of those modes. W, write to a file. W+, write and read to a file. A, append. And A+, append and read a file. Append means add to the file. Let's start with the W mode, which writes to a file. It has one of two operations. If the file does not exist, then this command creates a new file. If the file exists, then this command overwrites the file. Run. You know what? Before I run, notice how file test is the name of the file, but the project does not have file test. So when I run, file test shows up, but when I open the file, it does not have any data. To add data, we write file.write. The write method allows us to write any string to the file. How about a header like name, tab, age, tab, gender, and insert a new line? It's always a good practice to close the file. File.close. The close method flushes information that prevents us from reading or writing to the file. Run, and this time we see the header information, and it shows name, age, and gender. Change the mode from write to append. Append, A for append is different. I'm going to copy and paste. Then change the name to James. Age, 25. Gender, male. Also add some hyphens to separate the header information. Name will have 4 hyphens. Age, 3 hyphens. Gender, 6 hyphens. Now, the append mode also creates a new file and writes to the file if the file does not exist. However, since the file exists, then the file pointer is placed at the end of the file, then writes new information. Here's the problem. It will write the first line, name, age, and gender 2 times before writing the next 2 lines. Run and open the file. We see the header, name, age, and gender 2 times because we appended the hyphens, James, 25, and male. You know how I said the write mode has 2 operations? The write and read mode also has 2 operations. Let's overwrite the file by typing W+ and run. As expected, we see 3 rows of data. Now, let's append a row by changing W+ to A. Then copy the last line and change James to Jane, 25 to 34, male to female. This time, make sure to comment the first 3 lines because we only want to add the last line for Jane. Run, and we see the last line 2 times because I clicked Jane, and I clicked run 2 times because I wasn't sure if it updated or not. So you know what? Let me do that one more time, and I'm going to put W plus. I'm going to uncomment the lines, first 3 lines, and I'm going to start over. I'm going to write to the file, and we see 3 rows of data. Now I'm going to change W plus to A, and I'm going to comment the first 3 lines again and uncomment the last line. And I'm going to start by hitting run, and we see the last line for Jane was appended, the updated information. There is a way for Python to automatically close an instance of the file by using the keyword with. With guarantees the resource is cleaned up when running our program, when it finishes executing. Similar to the regular way, we can open the file, but I'm going to add some more information that's as file. File is the variable. Now I'm going to keep it as append. Let me make it append A plus because we haven't done that yet. And I'm going to write file.write, and the string will be Janice. Tab, age will be 24. Tab, then write female. And I'm going to make sure to comment the previous statements and run. Open the file, and we see the last line starts with Janice, age 24, and female. That's it for opening a file, then writing to a file in Python. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next session.